Hey guys, it's me, Kevin, and I am back with another AFL tipping video. This week I'll be tipping round 17, which runs from Thursday to Monday. Alright, we've got somewhat of a normal fixture. Well, I mean, not the Monday part, but I mean, better than the Tuesday, Wednesday crap that was going on. Start off the week, we head to the Gabba on Thursday night, where St Kilda and West Coast lock horns. I'm pessimistic about my own fan base. I'm not exactly sure if I'm the best supporter. Unfortunately, I'll be tipping against my Eagles. Reason being is I'm just pessimistic. We've got so many injuries, and we're just injured. We had 5 players that were taken out from last week's side that lost to the Bulldogs by 2 points. And that's to compound with the fact that we've already got Yo and Shuey out. I mean, we do get Hearn and Natanui back, but we've lost more players than we've gained. And we lost to the Bulldogs last time, and we're off a 4-day break. So look, I unfortunately think the Eagles will lose this. St Kilda in some pretty good form, want to try and lock up a finals berth. So I'm going with the Saints for this one. Friday night, this is a big clash. Last year's proper grand final rematch. I'm not including that rubbish game on the last day of September. If anything, that prelim final on the Friday night, the week earlier, was probably the true grand final of the year, unofficially. Geelong and Richmond, and this has a massive context once again. I'll be tipping Geelong, purely because of their record against the top teams. They thrashed Brisbane, who's second. They thrashed Port Adelaide, who's probably going to win the minor premiership at this rate. So I'm expecting for them to do something similar against Richmond. Remember, this is the same side that did lose to Port Adelaide only a few weeks ago. And that would potentially cost them a top 4 spot. Look, both teams are in some very good form, but I think Geelong, they've proven that they can beat the top sides this year. Richmond have got just as much capability of beating Geelong as vice versa, but I just think Geelong will have some confidence with them, and I'm tipping the Cats. Saturday afternoon, North Melbourne versus Fremantle. This should be an easy win for the Dockers. They thrashed Melbourne. Well, I wouldn't say thrashed, but they held Melbourne to a pretty low score last Monday. Also, they did something very similar against Sydney. Look, I think they'll probably hold North to a low score, and they'll probably kick more in pretty dry conditions. So I think this is going to be a big thrashing, just like that game all the way back in March 2019. Jeez, that was a long time. In fact, I calculated it. Apart from the World War affected years, the North Melbourne Fremantle matchup has had the longest duration between 2 matches in VFL AFL history, spanning for 540 days or some ridiculous number like that. So yeah, I'll be tipping Fremantle because, well, they're not too bad at the moment. Saturday afternoon at Adelaide Oval, Port Adelaide and Essendon. Essendon were insipid against Geelong. Port Adelaide, they keep on winning to hold their top spot. Not much explanation there. I think Port Adelaide will thrash Essendon. It's at home, so it'll make things even worse for the Bombers. Expect another insipid performance from them. Port will win. Saturday night, a massive game. GWS Melbourne. Whoever loses this is effectively season over. Look, the Giants have the stronger team, so that's why I'm tipping them. Because, alright, although I could argue that Melbourne are due for a win, but I'm just not convinced about... To be honest, I'm not convinced about either team. How the frick did GWS lose to Adelaide? I don't get it. I mean, that makes me want to tip Melbourne, but at the same time, they have been just as poor in the last few weeks, and in my opinion, GWS, they can turn it on when they want to. I think they will want to bounce back from that shocker performance on Tuesday, so I think GWS... they'll do what they did against Essendon or Carlton or Richmond or Collingwood. They'll storm off in the second half and win. And then on Sunday is Carlton and Adelaide. I want to tip Adelaide because they've won their last 2 games, and I was going to tip them until I saw the fact that they had to take a plane to Brisbane. And remember what happened last time they went off to Queensland? Well, they got thrashed to the Bulldogs. They've also lost by a pretty significant margin to a North Melbourne side who has not won any games since round 2, before that point or since then. So they lost to 17th place North Melbourne, having to fly up there, as well as they got thrashed to the Dogs. So, look, I don't think Adelaide are going to win because they're going to have to travel up. I think Carlton should get it in the bag and keep their finals hopes alive for round 18. Next on Sunday is Hawthorn and the Western Bulldogs. Hawthorn have been pretty garbage. Western Bulldogs, they pulled off a good win against an Eagles side, which, though it was injury depleted, let's not take away from the fact that the Bulldogs still took a pretty big scalp in beating the Eagles. They needed a scalp like that to prove that they were that they could compete among the best, and I think they would bring that confidence against Hawthorn. Hawthorn have been absolutely insipid, got smashed Saints, lost to Adelaide, so I think the Dogs will win. Over at Kazali Stadium, Brisbane and Sydney, another pretty obvious game. Look, Brisbane are injured. I know they've got like Berry and Harris Andrews out. I won't take too much about Starcevig. He's not really a big loss. Look, Sydney are young. Brisbane are quite experienced. Well, not experienced, but like they've got experience at the top they've had for the last 2 years. I think Brisbane want to keep that momentum going. They've won 5 in a row. So I think Brisbane will get the win there. And lastly, on Monday night, Collingwood v Gold Coast. They haven't actually played since Friday last week, so they'd get a massive break. They beat Carlton a couple of weeks ago. Gold Coast haven't been all that great as of recent. Got smashed to Brisbane. So I think this should be an easy Collingwood win. So, to recap my tips, I'm tipping St Kilda, Geelong, Fremantle, Port Adelaide, GWS, Carlton, Western Bulldogs, Brisbane, and Collingwood. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe, please like, comment who you think will win down below. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.